And knowing that, I think the minute I heard that, I don't think I've binged since because or restricted. It was just this that makes so much sense. So there's so much to learn in this program, and don't feel like I've tried everything. I'm hopeless. If I can do it, you watching out there can do it also. I would say if any part of my story sounds familiar to you, or if it's something that you're struggling with, you should do yourself a favor and sign up for this program. It was an important thing to invest in. You have to take care of yourself so that you can take care of everyone else as a mom. And so,
Hello, my honeys. It's Emmie. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Emmie. I'm a nutritionist and the creator of the Slim on Starch program. Go to healthyemmie.org if you want to work with me and my team. Also, make sure that you hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell because I upload a new video every Wednesday and Saturday. Today, I have the pleasure with sharing with you the lovely Robyn. Robyn and I started working together in October, and she has released almost 30 pounds effortlessly, it seems. Her weight chart just goes down, 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 down with each weigh-in. She mentions that she was struggling with calorie counting before we started working together, and also that she would be really, really good during the week, and then on the weekends would fall off completely and eat whatever it was that was out there. So if you are struggling with calorie counting, or if you find yourself sort of flipping two sides of the same coin between binging and restricting and undereating and overeating, then this is a great listen for you. Robyn is a testament to the fact that this lifestyle is available to anybody who decides I'm worth it and I deserve it. And that's exactly what Robyn did. You deserve to be healthy. You deserve to be happy. And this is not something that is reserved for individuals with insane willpower and all this crazy stuff. You can have it too. And Robyn decided, you know what? I'm going to have this too. And so she hopped in, we started working together, and the rest is history. I will let her tell the story.
so my name is Robyn, and I am a mom of four, and they are teenagers and young adults. And I'm almost 50, which means I'm perimenopausal. So, anyways, that's kind of, and one of the reasons that brought me to this diet and your channel was just trying to find ways to combat what you hear of about this dreaded time in women's life. I didn't want it to be that way. I want it to be a time of health and vitality. I have tried everything, that eventually I stumbled across the plant-based lifestyle and had read so many of the books, watched so many of the channels, and one day your channel just popped up in my feed and you look so adorable. So I clicked on it, and I was just amazed by everything coming out of your mouth and how much knowledge you had. And a little bit skeptical because, as you know, I had a couple years ago had success with a plant-based, starch-based diet, but quickly before the year was over, gained all of it back. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't positive it would work, but out of all the diets I had tried, and I tried a lot, like Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, variations of paleo, just calorie counting, the usual things. The plant-based lifestyle felt the most natural to me, and I loved the food the most on this diet. So, and then when you said that your program had a mindset coach and a nutrition coach, I was like, well, that's different. And that sounds really helpful. So I knew all the things. I thought I knew all the things, but I wasn't doing them. And then after being in your program for almost 6 months, I think it is now, I've learned so much more than I ever thought. So yeah, there's always a lot more to learn, and we just have to be open to it.
Mm-hmm. I know that when we started working together that you wanted to work on calorie counting. You had said that you had this number in mind And if it wasn't that number, you felt this uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, I think I told you there was like this number. I don't know why it's always been in my head, but this is the number you should eat if you're going to want to be losing weight. So that was so ingrained in me. That was really one of the hardest things I think for me to let go of. But everyone was so supportive. You were like, well, just try it. You know, you tried everything else. Let's just try this, not doing it without it. And I thought, okay, Emmy knows a lot. So she probably knows about this too. So it's so much more freeing just to listen to, your God given signals of hunger and fullness and to eat when you're hungry and to stop when you're comfortably full. It's just, and now that I've been doing it for a while, it seems so normal. It seems like counting calories is insane. So, and we have a lot better things to do than adding up calories and tallies on papers. And, I'd always get to the end of the day and think, oh, I don't think I should have dinner. I ate too much. And that let me know that it was not sustainable, because how often can you just ignore what your body's asking for to maintain a certain weight? So I knew it wasn't sustainable. That was the reason why I think my plant-based diet in the first time failed, because I was really under eating and restricting calories, and I knew I couldn't do that forever. So I had to let it go. It didn't serve me and it didn't help at all. So in the end, I've let it go, and am so much better now. This diet, or I don't even want to say diet, now this lifestyle feels completely sustainable to me. Like I know that I will reach my goals and stay there. So I'm so grateful and happy to have learned all the information that I've learned so far in the program.
And I know that that was something, the calorie counting was something that we had talked about at the very beginning, but it didn't show up in your struggles in your mindset journal in the beginning. You weren't saying that calorie counting was a struggle and letting go of it, which very much surprised me because it's a hard habit to let go of. So how did you allow yourself to let go of it?
I think I just started, I would still be counting. So I would get to the end of the day and I'd say I'm at that limit where I think I should be, but I'm hungry. So I would just eat. I said, let me just follow the program as prescribed and see. So it was really like, let's test this out and see. And it worked. So I proved it to myself by just following the program and doing what you said to do. So, but it is a very hard habit, especially when you've been doing it for years and years and years. It's a hard habit to break.
It is. And I say to people that come in with this fear of letting go of it, they think that the worst case scenario is that they gain a bunch of weight because they stop counting calories. But really the worst case scenario is that you get to the end of this program and then you go, well, then I just wasted all of this time because I didn't actually do it. What did I invest for? Why did I even sign up for this program? So very brave of you to do that. And it has paid off. There's something else I wanted to talk about. It was another habit that you wanted to break. Say, you do really well during the week, and then on the weekends, even your breakfast in the morning would be awesome. You'd have your oats in the morning, but then you'd fall into burritos or whatever other food it was. And this is a pattern so many people are in. Could you speak to that?
Yes. And that was a pattern equally as hard, I think, as the calorie counting was. Well, the weekends are loose and we're eating out and we're getting together with friends. So I think I had to change my thinking from this black and white on off my, healthy meal plan, and just be more fluid and just more open and not worried about trying to control everything. So many times during the program, the weekends came and went, and instead of trying to say, I'm only going to have this, or I'm not going to have this, and put these limits, I kind of had to start putting into place my system, which you talk about in the program early, because we also had the holidays, because I think I started right at the end of September.
Yes, end of September.
So yeah, so we had to go through the holidays. And so we worked on our system a little earlier than maybe we would have introduced it. information that you gave us in the chat, like, you don't have to put all this pressure on yourself, and every day doesn't have to be a perfect day. And a 97% is still an A. So I think in the past, if I had a lunch off plan, then it made me feel like the rest of the day is shot. So I might as well have some cookies and candies and cakes and top it off, and all of my favorite foods, because tomorrow I've got to get back on. So it was just this horrible cycle of on, off, instead of, hey, you know what? If you want a cookie, have a cookie. It doesn't mean the whole day is shot. That was really hard to let go of that thinking. And I think what allows you to get through that is just the time put in. Just keep doing it over and over. And maybe the first time you do it, and you're like, oh, I probably ate more than I would have liked of this food, and I didn't feel as good. And you realize you don't feel great, and that you really, and then all of a sudden you're like, I like my foods that I'm eating better than all of this other stuff I used to eat. So I think it takes time, but it's definitely doable and so worth working on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it sounds so pretty to say, a 97% is still an A plus, and it all makes sense. But when you're actually doing it, it's hard. It's hard to get into that action, to get into that gray area,
Yeah.
especially when black and white thinking is nice and clean and it's easy and it's this or it's that. So to be in that gray area is tough. But I think this is why you've had success. We started in late September, and now we're nearing March of the following year, and your weight has it's been wild how it's just down, 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 down. So what do you think is different this time as opposed to in the past?
The knowledge that I've gotten through the program and the time spent in it. So when we got to the end of the first initial 2 months, I thought, well, I don't know, do I need to go into the master's program? And I'm so glad I did, because it just gives you extra time to work on all the new information you have, with having the support of your nutrition coach and your mindset coach, and really cement. One of the things you told me when we first talked was that you asked me if I'd ever heard of the puzzle mats, and how when you do a puzzle, you can do it. But if you need to step away and use the table, you'd have to take it all up and start over. So you said there's these mats and you can roll it up. And you said, you remind me of someone that needs that mat, which is the foundation that Slim on Starch gives you. Mm-hmm. And so it gives you the foundation to be able to go off and you work your system, and then to get right back on. And just to build on these healthy habits, which takes time. And we all want everything right away, right? I just want to snap my fingers and be the weight I want to be and not have to work on myself. But it takes time, and you'll find that it's well worth it. So I think now it's different, as I have the foundation and so much knowledge behind it, supporting it, and the experiences of just going through day-to-day life, having to navigate your eating and traveling and all of that.
And this foundation is really going to come in handy, because last October we had just started working together, and October is the big month for you, because like all your kids are born in October. Right. You have 4 kids. How many are born in October?
They're all born in October.
They're all born in October. So there you go. And having that foundation so that you know that you can have some wiggle room during that time it's priceless.
Yes, it is. It definitely is. And everybody's different. Maybe, you have the wiggle room and that's enough, and you don't use it. You're like, well, I know I can have it, but I don't. But some people want to know they can have it and also eat the cake, and you can do that in this program. So.
Yes. So you're a wife, you're a mom of 4, 3 are at home. How do you navigate the way that you eat with the rest of the family?
This way of eating is so easy. You don't have to make a ton of extra food. It's been super easy. I felt like it's seamless. I don't know. It seems really doable. So I wouldn't let that scare anyone away thinking, oh, I've got to make special food, because you really don't. You're just eating your starches and your veggies and some legumes, and you can add in whatever your family wants. And if they like this way, and sometimes they just eat what I eat. Sometimes I don't make them eat, and they always love it. They think it's so delicious.
So tell us what a day of eating is looking like for everybody that's watching and they see your success and your calm demeanor and your peaceful demeanor and this wonderfully healthy and balanced mindset about food. People want to know what's on her plate. I want to be like her. So tell us.
I don't need a lot of variety. So usually every morning I eat my oats and a bowl of broccoli. And that it makes me feel that's like my favorite meal of the day. It makes me feel so good. So I start with that every day. And I was actually went home to visit my parents over the last week, and they saw I brought my little veggie steamer with me and my oats in a bag, and they said, "Don't you get bored of that?" And I said, "No." I've been eating it every day since the end of September. so,
Mhm.
so that's what I eat. And then I love for lunch, my favorite lunch is probably air fries and a salad with a side of legumes. And then for dinner, like I said, if I'm making my family steak and rice and some, cauliflower, I just have the rice and cauliflower. So it makes it super easy, super delicious. I love one of my favorite things is your cheese sauce recipe. So that's always a nice recipe to throw on your vegetables or your potatoes, and it tastes like cheese. It's good.
Because I know that was a tough one for you, the cheese.
Yes, yes, cheese is the tough.
Tell us what some of your primary foods are.
I've always liked and haven't really minded exercise. Now I'm in the kind of exercise module in the master's program, and just all the information that you've given about it. Because I think I used to try to use exercise to offset calories. I tried to outrun my fork, which made it not enjoyable. Now that I know what I know about it, exercise is so much more enjoyable because of what it's doing for my body. So I'd say exercise is on there. I love doing YouTube videos and, running a little bit and walking. I walk a lot. And I love that that wasn't a requirement for the program. You didn't say you're going to eat XYZ and you have to exercise an hour every day, because that might have been overwhelming. So you kind of like you're moving because it's healthy and our bodies were made to move, not because you need it to burn calories. And that was a game changer for me also. Hanging out with my family is primary food. And I love crafting. I make cards and things like that. I love stickers. Like I'm a total, 12-year-old girl when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I love it. Now, I have a question that I think everybody wants to know looking at you. What is your skincare routine? You
Oh
have
my gosh, I
beautiful,
don't.
youthful, gorgeous skin. Do you have a skincare routine?
Not really. I mean, I wash my face with soap and water and try to put on moisturizer when I remember. So,
Then
uh,
you have the genetics. Where did you get those genetics?
I guess so. I guess I can see the difference in my skin, but I guess it's not as bad as I think because I get compliments. But yeah, I don't really have anything special. It's the food, really. I think
Oh,
my
please.
skin,
I think it's some natural beauty now that you
food
say, oh, soap
also.
and water.
It is. My sister told me when I went home, she's like, "Your skin looks amazing," and she's also loves to dabble in a plant-based diet, and she's like, "It's the food. I remember my skin looked really good when I was eating that food." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think that helps. I think it does. It gives you a natural glow."
So, we talk about in the program your system and how you don't have to eat this way 100% of the time. And there are absolutely appropriate scenarios for you to eat non SOS foods. Do you want to share a little bit about what your system looks like?
Sure. I love that you give us a template, so we were able to print it out, and it just has on there kind of you think of ideas where you would maybe be not eating SOS, like the holidays, a date night, what else? Birthdays, things like that. And you allow us to fill in, like, okay, on this day, this is what I'm going to eat. And it could be, I'm going to eat SOS. I'm going to be slim on starch, or it could be, I'm going to try to be slim on starch. But if not, if I feel like a piece of cake, I'm going to have a piece of cake. So basically, I've just went through all the scenarios I can think of and wrote in, my ideal for myself, what it would be. So, and I love that the system is always changing. You can work it one way one year and then the next year go, oh, I don't want this, and switch it out. It's not set in stone. And let's see, what else can I say? It just allows for you to feel like you can stay on this program forever, because I think before I thought, well, if I can't do it 100%, then what's the point? I'm not going to do it. And now I'm like, no, but it's still a worthwhile thing. It's going to get lost in the wash. I went through all the holidays using the system and lost weight all through the holidays. So it works. It works.
Terrific. Well, Robyn, what would you say to somebody who finds that they are caught in the cycle that you were once in, where you could have success, but you weren't able to lock it in the long term? What advice would you give to that person or to your past self?
I would say if any part of my story sounds familiar to you, or if it's something that you're struggling with, you should do yourself a favor and sign up for this program. I mean, I really wanted to do it, but I felt guilty about paying for it, because my job as an office manager and the office is closed, and I'm not making as much as I usually do. But I knew that it was an important thing to invest in. You have to take care of yourself so that you can take care of everyone else as a mom. And so I knew it was going to be worth it. So, and I'm so glad. I haven't regretted it a day. I'm so glad I did it. And you might think that you know everything like I did. Like, I know it all. I know how to do it. But trust me, you don't have all the information. There's always more to learn. And you never know that one thing you're going to hear in the program that's going to just change it for you. It could just be one little tidbit and you're like, I never thought of it that way. One of the things was when you talked about the cycle of, restricting and then binging and how those are connected. And I never knew that. But when you said it, I said, that makes total sense, and knowing that, I think the minute I heard that, I don't think I've binged since or restricted. It was just this, that makes so much sense. So there's so much to learn in this program, and don't feel like I've tried everything. I'm hopeless. If I can do it, you watching out there can do it also.
If you are still watching, then comment the word peaceful, because I just find Robyn's demeanor to be so peaceful and so calming. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Perhaps I will hear from you. If you go to healthyemmie.org, you can apply to work with me, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Woo!